Hi, this video is for the drivers, and please share it with everyone you know that drives a car or a truck. So in this video I will explain how you can injure a cyclist and perhaps even end up in prison if you only glance their handlebars while you're overtaking them, and how to avoid that. And I will also explain how you can, let's say, without any direct your fault, have again problems with courts and everything if the cyclist in front of you is riding too close to the parked vehicles next to the road. I will also explain a bit about truck drivers, some peculiarities that I think many people don't know, and this will help you avoid getting into problems and avoid hurting people, of course. So let us start. The main problem, I wrote an article about that, is that two-wheeled vehicles like motorcycles and bicycles act a bit counterintuitively. When you're driving your car, if you swerve your steering wheel to the right and your wheels will turn to the right, your vehicle will also start turning to the right. With a bicycle, it is a bit unexpected. So when it is going at any kind of speed, even a walking speed, but the faster the speed, the more drastic and fast this happens. If you turn handlebars in one direction, the bicycle will surprisingly quickly lean in the opposite direction. That is the technique that we consciously use when we are going, especially with heavy vehicles like motorcycles at high speeds, but it works with bicycles at low speeds also surprisingly effectively and surprisingly quickly. I will try to put overlay videos of these things that I'm talking about, but the basic principle is that if you are overtaking a bicycle and you just hit the handlebar, these are shorter, the normal handlebars are usually a bit wider, these were cut to have better filtering capabilities, but you will, if you hit it even with your rearview mirror or side of your car, as you're overtaking the bicycle, the handlebars will turn to the right and the bicycle will suddenly fall to the left and throw the cyclist onto your vehicle or onto the road once you've passed, depending on the speeds and everything, but you will have been the one that put the cyclist down, probably. So that's one problem. Another problem when a bicycle is going too near the parked cars, regardless of whether they are parallel parked, so the doors are opening, that's riding in the door zone, or whether they are just not being cautious when they are parking in and out or going out of driveways or any other things that unexpected stuff jumps out from the right side of the road. When that happens and the cyclist's right handlebar, for the English people and the others that drive on the left side of the road, just switch the sides, it's the same principle. So when the right handlebar is hit against something, again, we had the overtaking situation when you push it, and here we will have when cyclist hits it from the front, and the bicycle will drop to the opposite side immediately. And if you are coming from the opposite direction too close or trying to overtake too close, you might have a cyclist falling into the path of your car and getting hurt. And then you will have problems explaining why that happened, especially if the person who had opened the doors or maneuvered decides to disappear. So a very tricky situation. Before I explain how to avoid these things, I will also mention the problem with trucks or any large vehicles, especially if they are hauling a trailer. So what happens is that as you are cutting through the air, you are around and in the rear area of your vehicle creating an under pressure, lower pressure than the normal atmosphere. And once you've passed that, air that you've cut will try to get back to fill that place. That's how fluids and gases act. And when the cyclist is too near, when you're overtaking too close, that air drag that you're creating will sort of vacuum in the cyclist against the side of your car and could hurt them. And there are cases where people get hurt like that without first initial direct contact, but because that air gets them. So for all these situations, in order to avoid getting into trouble, the solution is to create more distance. Depending on the difference in speeds of you and the bicycle, that distance that is safe will vary. And of course, you should check if there's anything on the side of the road that could endanger the cyclist and get him into your path. So plan ahead, look around, be aware, and if the speed is very close, if the cyclist is looking very secure on the handlebars and not swerving, it may be super convenient and safe to pass near, but be aware of these things that I talked about, the size of your car, the width of your rearview mirrors, and so use your common sense and good judgment. And of course, if anything is suspicious, it's always better to err to the side of caution. For trucks and other big vehicles, as most truckers probably know, but I had a situation today with one that apparently didn't care. So try to create some extra room to avoid hitting a cyclist. I have had situations where people would hit my handlebars, or a truck would overtake me too close, and with a lot of experience and good skills, I could mitigate the risk and prevent any bad injury and problems for anyone, but it is not something that I would expect as a driver an average cyclist to do, and my freedom and avoiding injuring other people's is my responsibility, not the cyclist. So I cannot how to say put my things on the line expecting other people in traffic to do smart things. I should be careful for myself. That's my logic, and I know that many drivers don't understand how this works, and that's why I wanted to make this video. I hope it's helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in some other video. Cheers.